Live. I'm live. All right, we are good, ladies and gentlemen. We are good to go. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Instagram. I hope you're all doing all right. Hey, Richard Kaufman, how you doing? Good afternoon, brother. And Chloe, Jean, everybody on Instagram, thanks for tuning in. Awesome to have you guys here. I want to talk about something tonight that comes up all the time. I just had a conversation with a client and a potential client and a past client. All three of my clients actually had the same question. Now, when I say I have a client, that means they purchased from me consulting or product placement for retail or what have you, one of these things. And the way that they purchased my services, or what you would call a product, is obviously in person, usually a video call. Usually a video call and face-to-face. And for me, it's second nature. So because I have a certain way that I explain the process and I tailor it to their needs, show them what needs to be done. They show me where the problem is. I show them I have the solution, that I'm a solution, then it happens. But how many times have you sat in front of somebody saying, I need this sale. I need this sale. How often have you sat there and said, I need this deal? How often? You know, and what happens in that moment when you start saying you need it, guess what? The other person intrinsically and without, typically not consciously, unless they're a trained professional, they don't consciously know, but they feel that you're in need. So they immediately have the upper hand. And that's the problem that most people have, is that they have this thing where they show everybody their hand, right? So they show their cards, as you will, if you will. And there's a way to avoid that, a real simple way to avoid it. And I wish I want everybody, as many as possible, to tune in here and see this, because this is important and this is going to save you a lot of heartache. So check it out. Hey, Richard, can you share this into the tribe? I can't share it. My phone is upstairs. My other phone is upstairs. So I'm on my phone on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So could you do me the favor and share it into the tribe? Thank you very much. That'd be awesome. So before I start, I want to understand that making money, obviously, is a part of life. So it shouldn't be the focus of life. When you make it the focus of life, you let everything else fall. It's like not watering your plants except for just one. So the one plant will do okay, but the other one's going to die. So you don't want that to happen. What you want to happen is that you're constantly watering all the plants and you're caring for the plants. And because you do, they thrive, right? Same thing goes for money. Now, when you have a money situation and you're pushing to try to get revenue, you're showing scarcity. You're showing need. You're showing the fact that you can't sort of make it, if you know what I mean. So what you got to do, and this is actually quite simple because it makes it much easier to do, is you excuse yourself, right? So you excuse yourself from where you are. Say, excuse me, I'll be right back. I'll just go to the bathroom, or whatever it is you want to do. And then you walk out of there. You walk out of there. 1 second, I'm trying to show this online. And you walk out of there and you simply go and you, excuse me. Want that to happen. What you want to happen is that you're constantly, excuse me, I'll be right back. Whoops, trying to get this thing going right. Sorry about this. There we go. All right, good. Thank you, Richard. You shared it. Thank you very much. All right, so back to schedule. All right, so look. If you're hey, Richard, hey, Michael DeRosa, my God, the son of the famous one and only. All right, Sergeant Major DeRosa. Hey, Elise. Hey, Chad, how you doing, brother? This is good for you, Chad. This is good for you, Elise, too. And it's something that that I took years to work on and master. In the beginning, when I was closing deals, I didn't know what pressure meant about having to earn money, because I sort of had, no bills and no debt. When I was younger and got out of the Army, I didn't really have anything. So for me, closing deals, all right, thanks, Creative. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I didn't really have any need to close because I didn't know what it was to close. I just did what I did, and I was quite successful. And then when I started realizing and learning how to do sales, how to close deals, it started to become less natural. And if you take any kind of sales training, if you take any kind of, what's up, Chad? If you take any kind of sales training, if you take any kind of like closing training, you're going to start thinking about something that you should be doing intrinsically or intuitionally. So here's a trick on how you can get back to that intuition really, really quick. Now, it has to do with HIT. Okay, you're like, oh shit, here he goes again, selling his program. I'm not selling my program. I'm going to tell you something. So when you, am I still live? Yeah, I'm still live on Instagram. Okay, good. So when you sitting in front of somebody and you're explaining your process and you're saying what it is, what's the benefit that they have, and why should they buy your product or your service, and how it is that you can, thanks Richard for the share, and that, what it is they can earn, why it's good, this, that, and the other. If you're explaining the 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 features of your, it's this cool and you're this long and stuff, you're probably not going to do the sale. If you sell the benefits, obviously everyone knows that, feature benefits, right? So people want benefits, but more than that, they want a solution to a problem, a known problem that they have a problem. You're going to show the solution. But yet still, when it comes time to ask for the money, you get desperate. You get, oh my God, I gotta close this. I gotta close this. I hope this works. That kind of stuff. So you're gonna stop right then and there. And this is key. When you're a hit person, honesty, integrity, and transparency, which is my signature program, you're honest with yourself about what exactly is going on in your life and the decisions you make. And you're transparent about why you make those decisions and who is affected by these decisions, right? So in order to get back to that sync, the key thing is this. And you ready for this? No expectations. No expectations. You're thinking like, what's up, buddy? What's wrong? What's wrong? You crying? What's up, boo-boo? My son, Max. What's up? What's wrong? You're supposed to be upstairs? Okay. All right. So when you're hit, you have no expectations, meaning it's hey, Mustafa, meaning you have no, you show up full and total to the person in front of you, and you're only there to hear them out. What do they need? And you offer a solution from you that you can actually back up. And that's it. That's what you do. You don't go in there with, I have to get it. I have to close it. I know it's hard when you need it. I know it's hard. Number one. Number two is, what's up, buddy? Number two, you see yourself there and there, right? See that? There and there. What's up? What's up, sissy? So, and the second thing is that the best feeling you're ever going to have in your life is when you turn down a deal that you needed. That's going to be the best deal you've ever had in your life. I'll take care of it, baby. I'm gonna call right now. So, I'm always trying to grow the tribe. Thanks, Richard. All right. I'm reading that thing, creative. Hey, Maxie, come on, let's go. Mommy wants you. Come on, let's go, Bubby. Yay! All right. I know he's sad. He wants to be with Daddy. Poor boy. Hey, Max, feel better, little guy. You Thank you. Yeah, he's a mini me. All right. He's a mini me. Exactly. So check it out. Your little twin. Exactly, Chloe. So the best feeling you're going to have is when you need the money and you turn it down anyway because you're not feeling their vibe, right? And you're like, what do you mean vibe? And I'm talking hit. Honesty, integrity, transparency. If you see there's something wrong with them and you take it on, you're going to fail. The job, you might get short-term money, but you're not going to get long-term money. A guy asked me today, he said, what do you mean? How can you be hit all the time? How can you be honest with yourself all the time? And I'm honest with myself. It's real simple when you have no expectations, because expectations F you up big time. All the time. You do something and you don't tell anybody that you have an expectation, and then you sit there and wait for it to happen. And if it doesn't happen, you get upset. And then you're in a bad mood because you had an expectation that you didn't verbalize to somebody, right? So the same thing goes for when you close a deal. And I'm going to give you the straightforward right now how you close a deal. I'm going to give you my secret right now. Actually, it's not my secret. I borrowed it from Gita. And hey, Nordine. All right. So check it out. When you're making a sale, when you have a client, hey, Chrissy, how you doing? Chrissy from New York, cowgirl, barrel racer. So when you're with a client and you're trying to sell them on something, and you're trying to give them a product. So for instance, let's say you're selling consulting. So you're selling my business. I'll just tell you how I do it. So I sit there and I listen to them. I have no preconceived notions of what I can offer them. I have no idea what their problem is. I don't want to know what their problem is because I want to use their intuition. So I listen to what they have to say and I let the words sink into my brain and I keep asking questions until I find the root of the problem, right? Once I find the root of the problem, I know right then and there, you know what? What about this? How does this sound? Hey, Tor, how you doing? Long time no see, my lieber. Wie geht's dir? So you listen, no expectations. You ask questions until you figure out exactly what's wrong with them. Because often someone will say, I'm not making money. I need to make more money. The sales department is really bad. And you talk to them and you realize the sales department isn't bad. The leadership of the sales department is bad. They have no training. They have no standards, no SOP, no job description, nothing. So what do? Right? You say, this is how I see the problem. First of all, you said this, that, this, and that. Is that correct? Yes. And you want this, that, and that. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, just so I'm clear. So this is what I would see. I would see us getting, hey, I have a social media agency. Would you recommend with cold calling? Hey, Nadine, well, cold calling, let me get to that in a second. So then you say to them, this is what the outcome would look like if we work together. You don't tell them what you're going to do. You just say, because it doesn't matter what you're going to do. You might not even know what you're going to do at that time. You just know you can do it because you've done it before. You have the solution. So what do you say? You say, this is what's going to happen. We would take your sales leader. We would train your sales leader, and we would make him proficient in certain situations that are going to help your team grow. Whether all right, brother. Oh my goodness, the timing of this. I have a beta group right now, and a lot are free because the organization paid in them, and there's no one participating. I'm going to remember this when I feel good to the kid. Hey, never. Janos, So you're simply going to say, this is what the outcome is going to be if we work together. Your sales manager is going to be trained by me. I'm going to show him exactly what it means to build a culture in the sales team, and we're going to show you your trainer, your sales manager, how to become a trainer to create a culture that is productive, right? That's what's going to happen. How bad do you want that? How much does that mean to you? Seriously. And you don't say it in a salesy thing. You really ask, if you want to know how bad they want it, how bad do you want this, man? Like, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want your team to be successful? Because that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your sales guy, I'm going to turn him into a sales machine, and we're going to train your guys and gals and make them into a professional freaking team that's going to kill it for you. How's that sound? It sounds great. All right. How important is that for you? Because I need to know that if we do this, we're actually going to do this. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. This is a situation that I come up against all the time, right? This is a situation I come up with all the time. And I realize that people make light decisions, yes or no. So if this decision is made and we have the outcome that I just described, what's going to change in your life? What will change in your life when we get to the point that I just talked about? And this is, my friends, that question right there is the most powerful question you can ask somebody after you've taken them through the process of showing them a mirror of where they stand and what their challenges are. Because then they really think, thank you, then they really think this. What's going to change in my life? No more debt? Okay, that's nice. You'd be surprised what comes out of people's mouths. I'll have self-respect again. Wow. My spouse will respect me again. I will be more at ease. I won't be yelling at my kids anymore. You see where I'm going with this? Once you get to the point where you gain their trust and you show them that you care and that you have a solution for them, and then you ask them the questions of what will change in their life when the outcome is as I stated, they always get personal. They always get personal because it means a lot to people to be successful. It means a lot to people to be happy. It means a lot to people to be successful in a way that's not going to cause stress in the family. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to give love. Everyone. And this is the way you do it. So once someone says to me, my spouse will have respect for me again. Do you think they're going to be a client? If they entrust me with that, and I truly am honored that they would, number one, they know that because they bare their soul to me about their spouse, that they're now connected to me in a way. Number two, I know that because they bared their soul to me, that, and especially in that situation, I'm going to do my damnedest in every way, shape, or form to make this a successful thing, a successful situation, a massive success for this person. So it's a win-win both ways. I get the client, they get a consultant, and we both win. And I never had to close. I didn't have to say, draw a line down the middle of the paper. On the left-hand side, put your pros. On the right-hand side, put your cons. And I'm going to tell you the pros are going to outweigh the cons. You do it. It'll work. No, bullshit. Or, let's reduce it to it's actually only, it's not $500 an hour. It's not $1,000 an hour. It's only $3.20 a day or, 0.5 cents a minute. That's not going to work. It's not about price. If you go into an emotional situation and you try to deal with logic, you're going to fail. It's just like Democrats and Republicans. Logic and emotion doesn't mix. Right? So you try to answer a emotional question with a logical answer, never going to happen, right? So when you're after selling, forget the sales, forget the money, forget the pressure, forget scarcity. Don't even worry about it. Just show up full and total. Being a hit person means in its entirety, showing up for that person across from you and giving their full and total attention with zero expectations, zero forethought, zero plan in your head about how you're going to help them, because you don't know what the truth is until you talk to them. Very rarely as a client who you're working with will they tell you the truth, because they don't know what the truth is, because they've never dug deep. I need money. My sales isn't working. I need my sales team is screwed up. I need money right now. No, it's not your sales team. It's your sales manager. And then you realize the sales manager isn't being trained by who? Exactly, right? But I can't say that in the very beginning, right? I need to go in, fix the problem, what he or she thinks it is. Then I can talk about that. And that's where the longer term situation comes in with the consulting. All right. Sound good? That's pretty much my advice for the closing. So let me talk about this. No idea. Hey, Stephen, I have a social media agency. What do you recommend with cold calling? Look, I wouldn't recommend cold calling. What I would do is first of all, if it's a social media group, everybody wants social media managers to do their stuff, do their posts. Any company that doesn't have a social media marketing company spends half their time trying to make memes and posts and videos and all kinds of stuff. So most people want that. So what you want to do, I'll tell you what I did with a client. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? I just saw the email from our friend there. Awesome stuff. So this is what you're going to do if you're in a social media marketing company. I did this with a client. He called me. He said, hey, man, I just had, I paid, so and so much, 4 figures for a consultant to help me with my media company. And he said, nothing happened. I couldn't do it. 1 month, nothing happened. And I said, okay, this is what you're going to do. Are you guys ready for this? You can do this in any business. Karen has heard this before. You ready? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go on Facebook, on your page, or on your business page, but hopefully in your page, and in any groups that you're in that you're allowed to post in. You say, hey guys, check this out. So I'm a social media marketer. I have a social media marketing agency. Most of you know that's what I do. If you don't, now you do. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and my friend said, hey, can you help me out with my social media marketing? Can you tell me how to go and do it? So I sat down and I told him how to do it. And then I realized, man, I got a pretty good system. This is pretty freaking crazy. So I figured I'd offer one of 2 things. One, I can do social media marketing for you, and I'll give you a discount if you answer right now in the next, I don't know, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Or 2, I can teach you how to do it yourself. And if you do that, it's a 6-week course, an hour a week for 6 weeks, and I'll teach you how to do it. And you can contact me for the details. And boom, thanks, bye. That's it. That's the post you get. So he posted the same thing, but without the teaching, just the course. He said, anybody who signs up now gets 2 months for one. He got 9 clients in about an hour and a half. 9 clients. And they paid him, I think, $450 a month. 9 clients, $450 a month, 3-month contract. So that was his immediate impact revenue. That's why I call it that. And that works for anything. Hello, Jessica. And that works for just about anything. And that's how you can kill it if you're in a situation where you can't move. And this is the problem, guys and gals. And I have to tell you this straight up. I had a guy the other day tell me this. I don't know what to do. I need $30 right now, or I'm getting kicked out of my apartment. I don't know what to do. I said, go to your Facebook page, make this post. And he didn't do it. He made a video instead. And because the gurus say videos are more powerful, not in this situation, right? Not in this situation. Didn't work. It's something that it takes bravery to ask for help. It does. And it's tough. And you need to ask for help. But if you ask for help and you don't take the advice, then yeah, sorry, that's why you're where you are. Guy Page, I need something from you. Please look at your message for myself and Joshua and Abdullah. Please look at that message. I need that from you, brother, man. I hope you're doing well. We need to set up a call, by the way. All right, get back to me, bro. So, if you're going to ask for help, it's amazing, it's good, and it's strong. But if you ask for help and you don't take the advice, then there's a problem with that. If you ask for help because you don't know how to do it, it's because you don't know how to do it. And that's fine. You don't have to know how to do it. I don't know how to do everything. That's why I ask for help all the time. Okay? But just listen. So to recap, if you're going to go into a sale, it's real simple. You show up as a hit man or a hit woman. And that means honesty to yourself, transparency to yourself about the decisions you're making, if it affects anybody else. And you go into that meeting, no matter who it is or what you're selling, and you go into that meeting with, hey, Mr. Blue Winter, you go into that meeting with no expectations, and you sit full and total in front of that person, and you're there for them no matter what, no expectations, no forethought, no innuendos, nothing. You're just showing up and listening. Any of you that's ever talked to me, right? Hey, bro, any of you that's ever talked to me knows how I show up for you. I'm like, hey, what's up? That's it. I'm not going to say, well, here we are at my consulting session and this is what's going to happen. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to do. No, that's not going to work. No one wants to work with people like that anymore. If you do, they join a corporate organization and they hire somebody like McKinsey or one of those guys and they show up and, hello there, that kind of thing, right? Hard job, by the way. I'd never worked for McKinsey or those guys. They're just like slave drivers. They kill it. No money. Thanks, guy. I appreciate it. Hit principles. Amen. Manrique, what's up, brother? So that's key. Show up total and fully with no expectations. And often your presence alone in that situation where you have no expectation and your energy is chill, that alone is going to make you successful. Just that alone, right? It's incredible. Then you listen to them and ask questions until you know exactly what the real problem is without leading on with questions. Don't lead on. Hey, greetings, Catherine, your mom. Don't lead with questions like, well, why do you think that is, John? And, oh, well, so tell me. Not like that. Like, you need to have true interest in this person. Like if you're talking to me right now and I'm going, well, Karen, why do you feel like that? Well, because it's not. Yeah, but why? Because that's not. Why? What does he think? Okay, my husband. Okay, then why does he think like that? I don't know. Well, you need to find out, right? This is what's going to drive you. This is why you're doing what you're doing, blah, 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 this kind of stuff. You don't say, well, that's interesting. Yes, of course, yes. And I can understand exactly where you're coming from. Yes, indeed. That's bullshit, all right? No one talks to each other like that. You're talking to a friend. You're talking to someone you want to have a friend with. Karen, you're so real and accessible. It's a great example of simplicity. Thank you. James Matthews, all right, brother man. How you doing, my man? How you doing? Good to see you. I'm looking at your name like you're right there, but you're not. I know you're right there. So, hey, Crypto World, how you doing? Sorry, everybody. I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the same time, so that's why I'm looking around. So one of the other things you want to watch out for is when you're a hit person and you're selling and you're closing and you're not closing at all, you're opening. So when people say I'm closing a deal, you're starting a relationship. So you're opening a door is what you're doing, all right? And I want to give you a perfect example of what I mean. And I'm talking model example. Listen up, Karen Hamilton. All right, so check it out. You ready? So today, I had visitors from Vienna, Austria. And it's a company who wants to have their products in America. And I happen to know the right people to take their products to America and sell it to the US government. So they asked me if I could help them. I reached out, I took their product brochures, and I went shopping to my products, my professionals in America. What happened? They said, we love it. Let's get started. We can do this, that, and the other. So I called them back, come to Budapest. Let's sign an agreement. Let's talk about it. They showed up, everything printed out. Thank you, buddy. Oh, I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome. He says, you're the best person giving me motivation every day. Thank you. My pleasure. And so they showed up and they asked me all these questions and yada, yada, yada. And I didn't care. Really. I didn't care. I'm like, I have the connection. I can help you. If you want it, yes. If not, not. But if you want it, this is what's going to happen. What did I do? I explained the outcome, right? I explained the outcome. Just hit $4,000 made it because I had no experience and put it in. Awesome. Wow. That's crazy. All right. Good. Congratulations. Elise. Yeah. So they said, okay, we're going to do it. And they paid a 5-figure sum to me. So they signed the contracts right here, a 5-figure sum for me to take their product to America. And we're sitting there and I said, hey, here it comes. You ready? I said, hey, always be offering value. Always be offering value. Always be offering value. I said, hey, I got a client in America who has this and that, and it might fit for your product. So I showed him. I said, check it out. He goes, oh my God, we need that. That's amazing. So I wrote them and said, I need 5 samples sent to Austria for this and that and the other. And now they're going to come together. I'm getting another contract from them and the marketing contract. So 1 meeting, 3 contracts. How's that work? Because I'm always offering value. I show up with no expectations. If I'd have showed up, I want to sell this guy stuff. I want this guy to pay me to bring his product to America. I wouldn't even be thinking about how else I could help them. You see what I'm doing? I'm solving his problems. I'm offering more products. I'm giving them an example to not only create a connection in America where they can sell the products, but get another American product back to Austria to create a round robin kind of thing, right? So they're going to make money. They're going to buy. They're going to make. They're going to buy. It's a great solution for them to grow and be the ones in Europe getting the American products over here. So it was incredible. And those guys were completely blown away, and I loved it. Same thing happened a few weeks ago. I did a live video from the Austrian airport. Exactly. I did a live video from Vienna airport. Same thing sort of happened. And it was also a 5-figure deal for representation in America. Now, I can't do this unless I know that I can actually land it. And the way that I land it is the same way that I do the deal with the people, as I show up with no expectations and say, look, man, this is what I got. What can you do for me? Now, HIT works both ways. So check this out. So I'm talking to a distributor, to Costco, for instance. He's like, man, I can't help you out. I'm like, look, stop for a second. Let's just talk, man. You're not the sales guy. I'm not the pitcher. Let's just talk for a second. What's going on? Where are you at? What can you do? What do you need? Don't let him lowball you. Of course not, brother. What do you need? Like, what do you need right now? What exactly do you need? What could make your day as far as products go right now? And then he says, well, look, man, I really need I don't know, like a widget. And I'll say, okay, check it out. I'm going to get you a widget. You want a widget? I'll get you a widget. You check out my thing here and you give it really consideration. Don't say no until you've actually looked at it because you're going to love it. Next thing you know, I get him a widget. He takes my product to Costco. See what I'm saying? HIT. Honestly, just be honest. Look, man, I'm here. It's the same thing. If you're at a if you're at a B2B, for instance, B2B is a little different than person to person. So if you're B2B and you're talking and you're selling and you're trying and you're pushing and you're pitching, and they say no, and you say, you know what? I get it. But give me this one answer. What would it take for you to say yes? Like just your dream thing. What would it take for you to say yes? Just out of curiosity. And most of the time they'll say something that is completely realistic for you. And you'll be like, if I could provide that for you, do we have a deal? He's like, what do you mean? Well, if that's what you want and I can provide it, are we good? Do we have a deal? They'll say, can you? It's like, do we have a deal? We're like, sure, why not? Good. I can do it. I can do it by then. This is what it's going to look like. This is how it's going to work. You ready? Let's do it. Boom. You see, HIT, honesty, integrity, transparency. You show up with no expectations. And even when they have expectations, you break them out of that expectation by breaking off. Now, if you're nervous, if you can't get your breath back, if you're too worried about, hey, Enrique, all right, brother man, sitting at a meeting with Pat this week. I saw that, brother. Make it happen. Close it up. Yo. So, hey, well, Freeman, how you doing? All right. Good man. So you're going to let go of everything in your head. You're going to say, 1 second, please. I need to go to the loo or the bathroom or the latrine or the head, whatever you want to call it. And you just get up and walk out of the room, go wherever you got to go, and just go, okay. Let go of all the thoughts, let go of all the expectations, let go of all of any pressure at all on myself. And let me just provide. Ward Freeman sent a request to be in my live video. Really now? I don't even know what that does. But anyway, what does that do? So you come back in and you're completely free again. You go, okay, so we were just talking about this and this and that. Look, man, what's the real problem? I see you're talking about this, but I feel like it's something else. Really, what is it? Come on, let's just talk about it. We need to get to the root of this so we can even know if we can help you. And if that's your true interest in life, if your true interest in life is not to make a sale, but to actually help somebody, you will kill it. You get me? You will kill it. And that's just incredible. It just is. All right? That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. What do you think about that? How's that sound to you guys? Was it all right? How about this? Take this video, because I think it was very valuable. Share it into one of your groups. It doesn't matter which one. Just share it into a group. I'm not sure how you can share on Facebook, but give it a shot. Or I mean on Instagram, but give it a shot. Please share it into one of your groups and tag me or tag whoever and say, check this out. Because what I just showed you is how I made a lot of money, put it that way. How I bought this house, a pool, all kinds of stuff. All right? All kinds of stuff in the shortest period of time. Traveling to Peru, traveling to America, going to Iceland now in April. Yeah. Lane Balone, my partner, his wife, Alexandra, and John Rankin and myself all going to Rankin with my wife as well. Going to Rankin, going to Iceland as well. All a part of the whole process. How can you do that if you don't have money? How can you make money if you aren't relaxed? Hey, Christoph Haida from Austria. Boom. There's one of the guys from Austria right there. Good man. How you doing, brother? You get me now? Everybody good? Good to go? Please share this into other groups. Like it and join it. And if you haven't heard my podcast yet, I just finished an interview with Ron Lynch. Ron Lynch is the guy who took GoPro from 600K to $650 million. He was just on my podcast and we talked about some really cool stuff. Sorry. Yeah. But tomorrow, Tuesday, the podcast is coming out with Evan Carmichael on the horn. And Evan's on his country tour in America right now, going from city to city. I think nine. All right, Tanya. I think 9 cities. He's driving around and he's on his Believe tour, which means believe, solving the world's biggest problem, one state at a time. It was a really, really good podcast. You're going to want to know. You're going to want to watch this podcast, and I'll tell you why. Because I used, and this is like rare, I used that podcast. So, hey, Dom, how you doing? I used that podcast as a personal consulting session. So I literally asked him questions pertaining to my business, more or less. Yeah. I'm putting the link into the comments. Put it in the comments. Boom, boom. All right, there we go. So ended up having a great podcast. He was in his car talking and giving some solid advice. And you're going to want to hear why. That's why I'm doing Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the same time, because of his advice. Now, you see, I asked him for advice live on my show. He gave it to me, and I immediately that night started doing it. That's how you implement what people tell you who are successful. And again, if you are wanting to be successful at a certain thing, find a person who's already doing it and is there where you want to be and ask them for help, and you shall prevail. Okay, everyone? That's it for tonight. I wish you and I bid you farewell. And if we want to talk about what I always talk about, that is making it a good day, going out and grabbing what's yours, making sure that you fight for what's yours, which is what? Quality of life. It's all about quality of life. See you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a fantastic one. Bye-bye. Let me end all these here. All right. Now we got YouTube ending as well. And we are done.